Hi, I'm Dr. Samantha Derland.
And I'm Andrea Hootie. Welcome back
To the Body Shop, where we are form and function equals wellness. And today we are going to talk about
basic human locomotion. And we shouldn't hurt as humans when we walk, when we run, or when we do whatever. And I know most people do have probably aches and pains that they work around with, and we're trying to eliminate those things. But when you talk about human locomotion, you have to look at ground contact and how your feet interact with the ground, just like the tires on a car interact with the ground. So do you have to rotate your tires? Do you have to change your tires? We look at footwear. There's different footwear for different functions that you go to, whether you're working out, whether you're running, whether you're lifting, whether you're going out on the town or whatever. But we're constantly changing our ground contact, and therefore we need to look at our feet.
And it's so cool because there's been so many times that we've worked out and I didn't realize how awesome it is to roll your feet out until we did it, and you spend a lot of time on it and you walk and it feels so much different and my whole body felt relaxed. And to also realize that your feet are connected to your upper body, so that foot's connected to this shoulder and that foot's connected to this shoulder, so your whole body is affected by how you force generate from your feet.
Right, it's a kinetic chain from the ground up, and we always look at how force is affected from the ground up. So we first need to take care of your feet. And most people ignore your feet because it's the furthest thing from your eyes. And, it's hard to reach sometimes.
It's in a shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the one things, there are some of the things that we do. We use these half balls to walk and move our feet and really create a lot of mobility, because your feet get tight, and when that happens it hurts, right?
Absolutely. And the other thing I'll tell folks too is that there are times that you've been injured when you're in your teens or your 20s. Now your body is built to protect you from the day you're created until the day you die. So it tries to fix things for you without you knowing it. So sometimes if it fixes something which alters your gait and you don't acknowledge that, then about 20 years later you're having a problem upstream because your body was trying to help you out. So always going back to those basics.
We have a lot of athletes that come in and they've already been hurt, and we can see that they've twisted their ankle years ago and they forgot, but it's really affected their function.
Absolutely. And then what I see a lot of times too in the office is when people come in and stand on the body comp machine, you can see how there's asymmetrical muscle mass because they force generate different from their feet, which causes upstream muscle changes because you're accommodating. And so it's so fun to just go back to the basics. Your body is actually so simple.
Yep.
It just wants you to be a bipedal organism with great force generation of your feet, amongst other things.
And what do you mean by bipedal?
We walk on 2 feet. Like we're not dogs of 4, we just have 2.
So it's important to really look at foot form and function, make sure that the feet are taken care of. We do a lot of foot mobility exercises. These I bought at the toy store. So these are pretty cheap things to buy. These weren't so much cheap, or they were pretty expensive, but we walk on these just to warm up our feet. Then we start with a big ball and roll our feet. Make sure you contact the whole foot with that ball. We warm up with the big one, we go to a smaller one, and then we go to the smallest one to really pinpoint some aches and pains that are there. And you wouldn't believe that they're there if you don't
expose
do that.
it.
Yeah.
So I call these the bag of balls, because the really awesome things too, what people do is everyone's busy. Everyone has this crazy life, and to put too much more activity into their life is hard to sustain, but it's important. So I will tell folks, okay, get your bag of balls and put them underneath your desk, and while you're sitting there, roll your feet out, like multitask. When you're brushing your teeth, roll your feet out, one foot at a time and the other one, plus you balance at the same time, which is pretty cool and actually good for your brain. So all of the things we talk about too are easy things that you can incorporate in your life. You just have to be intentional. And then in making them part of your daily life, you actually have a better day without having to take so much time every day, which just makes it doable.
So that goes over just foot form and function.
There you go.
I'm Andrea Hootie.
And I'm Dr. Samantha Derland. And this is The Body Shop. That's fun.